Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 2. It seems wild that we're already in week 2. It seems like the quarter's just moving. So this week we have a few things. I'll just go over the topics that we're going to be covering and the readings that we'll be discussing this week. So Monday, October 9th, we are going to be, the topic of the discussion is Our Histories Ourselves, and I'll explain why I chose that particular title on Monday. But basically, we're going to be looking at the themes that arose from the annotations of the Adrienne Rich article on a woman-centered university. And I'm going to be introducing this assignment that we'll be kind of working on. It's a rolling deadline, so you can do it at any point during the quarter, of this annotated archive, where you're going to be looking at UCSD archival collections through our digital collections and finding sources that you think help explain the story of UCSD as a site of women's history. So we're going to be introducing that. I have a few sources that I'm going to share with you all that are from, the UCSD collections, and then we'll talk about those as well. On Wednesday, it's another kinship-centered lecture discussion. This one is not in terms of historiography, like not looking at the scholars that have written the history that we're studying, but looking at the kinship in, I guess, a more traditional sense of our ancestors, our kin, historically, and the historical figures that we might feel a kinship with, even if we're not, biologically or familially related to them. So we'll talk about that concept as well. And then Friday, we're not meeting in person. We'll be doing our asynchronous workday, and the reading that we're going to be annotating is by Tara Hunter, who's one of my favorite historians. Her book, Bound in Wedlock, is all about marriage and enslaved people and formerly enslaved people right after the Civil War. So the article that we're going to be, the chapter of that book that we're going to be reading for Friday is all about the Freedmen's Bureau, this government entity in charge of sort of overseeing the transition from the Confederacy back to the Union after the Civil War, and how they structured their ideal of marriage for formerly enslaved couples. It's fascinating. It's a really great introduction to the idea of marriage being this really critical piece of political history, a political institution, an economic institution, as well as something that we think of as like private, individual, family institution too. So we have a lot. I anticipate you all have a lot to say about this reading. Nothing due this week except for the week 2 class participation declaration. And that's it. I am still responding to your interactive syllabi, so we'll have a few more to get through. If you haven't submitted that yet, make sure you do that so I can meet you and answer any questions that you have. And I will see you all Monday. Thanks. Bye.